Today I'm going to show you the basics of crochet, and we'll be making a crochet scarf. Okay, so the scarf does not have to have the fringe on it. That's optional. What we'll be doing is we're learning how to do single crochets, which is this border right over here. Then we'll also learn how to do double crochets. The scarf will have at the very beginning 6 rows of single crochet as a border. You'll be doing 2 rows of double crochet and then 2 rows of single crochet, so it gives you this nice pattern. All the way at the end of the scarf, you will have another 6 rows of single crochet so that you have an even scarf. Okay, so the whole pattern you'll be repeating 2 rows double, 2 rows single, and you keep doing that. Okay, this is the Red Heart Super Saver Ombres yarn that I've used, and now let's go ahead and start you with the basics of crocheting. The first thing you're going to need is a crochet hook, and you're going to need some yarn. Okay, to start off we need to make a slip stitch, a slip knot. So what you're going to do is, with the tail in your right hand, the working yarn in your left hand, you're going to bring the working yarn over the tail. Then you're going to reach in, pull up a loop, and pull tight. Okay, I'll show you that again. Tail in the right hand, working yarn in the left hand, bring the right hand underneath the left hand, reach in, and pull up a loop. Okay, this loop we're going to place on our crochet hook, and we are going to tighten it up. This does not count as a chain. Okay, the pattern then says that we are going to chain 15. The way that I like to hold the yarn is I put it over my index finger and under my middle finger, so the yarn looks like that. Okay, I find this is how I can keep my tension. Some people wrap it around their index finger. You just want to have it so that it's anchored, so that way you have a tension that's even. So I'm going to pinch the little knot with my middle finger and my thumb, and then I'm going to put my hook under the yarn, wrap it around on top so that it catches with this little hook part, and I'm going to pull it through for 1. Okay, now we've just chained 1. So now again, I go underneath the strand to hook, and I pull it through, and that's 2. You don't want to make this super tight. Okay, you want to kind of keep it a little bit loose. So again, under, grab it, pull it through for 3, go under, grab it, and I put the hook facing down and kind of lift up, and that's 4. Now I'm going to move my fingers up and hold here. So again, 5, 6, 7, 8, gonna move my finger up again, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so this is our chain, and this is the foundation of any single thing you're going to crochet. They all have chains. Now if you'll look, you could see that one side looks like V's. Okay, you can see a little V over here, and then if you flip it over, there's little bumps. Okay, if you go into the little bumps, it gives you a little bit more of a finished look. So we're going to go into the bumps. Now it says that we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. We don't count the one that's on the hook. So we've got 1, which is right below the hook, and then 2. So that's what I'm going to insert my hook through. So insert through, so there are 2 loops on your hook. bring it through, and we go through one loop. So there's still 2 loops on my hook. Bring it through again to go through both, and we have just completed a single crochet. So I'll show you that again. We go to the next bump, insert, bring up a loop, wrap around, go through 2 loops, and that's a single. So again, insert, bring up a loop. Okay, we wrap around and go through 2 loops. Okay, we insert, bring up a loop, 2 loops, wrap around, and go through the last 2. You're going to do this all the way to the end for a total of 14. Okay, so again, insert, bring up a loop, yarn over, and go through both loops. I'm going to give myself more yarn. Okay, and we're going to continue doing this until we get to the end. So we go in, bring up a loop, yarn over, go through both loops. Okay, and we go again, and again, all the way to the end. Okay, we've got here. And now we're going to do our last one. Now if you want to count to make sure that you have the right amount, you see on top they form these little V's. Okay, right here. You're going to count the V's. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you have 14 single crochets. Okay, the next row says that you're going to turn, and we're just going to flop the work over. Okay, and we flop to the left. So we have turned. Okay, now it says to chain 1. So again, we reach in and we pull up our loop. Now, the way you go for row 2, okay, if a pattern should say the chain 1 counts as your first stitch, you would not go into this very first one over here. You would go into the next one, okay? This pattern does not say that, so you're going to go into this very first loop right here. So again, we insert, bring up a loop, yarn over, and go through 2. And we do this all the way across, okay, for 14. 3, insert, bring up, yarn over, go through 2, and we keep doing this across. And you'll notice that I'm holding it right underneath with my thumb and my middle finger. So that way I have control of the piece as I'm working, and I just move over with every stitch. And now the last one, okay, we go right over here into that last stitch. Okay, and then we would turn our work again for 14. Now the pattern says that you're going to do a total of 6 single crochet rows. So you're going to do 4 more rows. I'm going to show you what the double crochet looks like right now. So for double crochet, we're going to chain 2. So 1, 2. And again, if it said the chain 2 counts as your first stitch, you would skip this first spot and go into the second one. This pattern does not say that. So we're going to work right into this first stitch that's at the bottom of where the chains are. Okay? For a double crochet, we're going to wrap our yarn around the hook once. So just like that. So we take it from the bottom and goes around. So it makes 2 loops now on our hook. We're going to insert just like with a single and bring up a loop, But you'll notice now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over and go through the last 2 loops. And that is a double crochet. You'll notice that it's a bit higher than a single. Okay, it's twice the height. So again, we wrap our yarn around, go into the stitch, pull up a loop for 3 loops on the hook. Wrap around again, go through 2 loops, wrap around again, go through 2 more loops. That's a double. Wrap around, go through, bring up a loop, wrap around, go through 2, wrap around, go through 2 more. Wrap around, go into the next stitch, and we keep doing this all the way across. Okay, and again we will have 14 double crochets. The number is not going to change through this pattern. Every row is going to have 14 stitches. Doesn't matter if they're singles or doubles. We're going stitch for stitch, so there will always be 14. Okay, and it's a good habit to get into counting your stitches. That way you know that your rows won't change at all. Okay. I'm going through. We're coming to the last 2 stitches. And now we're going to go into that last stitch. Okay. Then we would turn our work again and chain 2. And then we go right in and we do our second row of doubles. Okay? And you're going to keep doing this. You're going to do 2 rows of doubles, 2 rows of singles, 2 rows of doubles until the scarf is your desired length. Usually a good judge of how long to make a scarf is however tall the person is, that is how long you make the scarf. So if someone is 3 feet tall, you would make the scarf 3 feet. If they're 6 feet tall, you would make the scarf 6 feet long. Okay? Some people like a super extra long scarf. You can make it however long you want to. Now I'm going to show you how to go about making your fringe. So the directions say to find a paperback book and to wrap your yarn around the book. You could just measure things. If you have a notebook, you could use a notebook. The goal is to get strands that are even, and when we fold them in half, it gives you the length of your fringe that you want. Okay? And you want to use 2 or 3 strands. You could do, if you like a lot of fringe, you could do more, but it looks best with at least 2 or 3. So the way we're going to do it is we go into each stitch or every other stitch at the bottom. So we're going to insert our hook. Okay, I'm going to take 2 strands and I'm going to fold them in half, and then I insert, I bring it through about halfway, and I take my hook out. I put my fingers in this little loop and I pull the fringe through and tighten. Okay, I'll show you again. So I insert my hook, grab my fringe, fold it in half, go in, bring the loop through, reach in and pull the ends through and tighten it. And there you have your fringe. Okay. So your scarf, you will keep working. This scarf had multi-pattern yarn, so for the fringe I used a little bit of each color. But this is what your scarf will look like. You have the rows of single crochet, double crochet, single, and it goes on and on. Okay, I hope you will enjoy this crochet journey.